Lisa, you first. People want to hear from you.
Thank you, Pedro, for that warm introduction. I want to say that back in the spring, when we were contacted to say that we were going to be recognized for this Patient Innovation Award, it was amazingly validating because, as I told my husband, it's been 5 years of a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. So my husband and I are thrilled to be here in Lisbon, thrilled to be here at the university with this team that I've been communicating with for many months. One quick caveat, when I told my husband I was coming to Lisbon this summer, he of course started telling his friends he was going to Lisbon. And I said, dude, you didn't win anything. I don't even think you're invited. But either way, we're here and we're having such a good time. We're thrilled to be here. Thank you very much. Okay, to get started, I want to say that I want to actually run a quick video that really talks about the overall inception of this project and how we got started.
This is YNN, Smart Living.
Hi, I'm Christina Chavez with Smart Living. We know a man invented the car, the airplane, and the artificial heart, but what about female inventors? Well, we're responsible for windshield wipers, disposable diapers, and Kevlar. All pretty big deals, don't you think? Well, still, it turns out female inventors have more obstacles than their male counterparts. Hot water in a long shower. Nothing's better.
Small, medium, 4 to size 12.
Lisa Kreitz knows that's all she wanted after breast cancer surgery 2 years ago. The diagnosis was too much.
I almost didn't believe it. I've always been healthy. I've always exercised. I've taken care of myself. I've not ever smoked. I don't drink.
But these standard post-operative drains meant she couldn't bathe for 3 weeks.
We don't want bacteria to travel through the incision into your body. So it's basically, we don't want you to get an infection.
So Lisa hit the drawing board and created this. It's a waterproof shirt designed to let breast cancer patients shower without risk of infection.
I was annoyed, but that became my cathartic project.
Business success is tough for women. In the U.S., we own just 10% of all invention patents. In Europe, women are just 30% of all entrepreneurs.
It was a need. It was a huge need that didn't exist on this market, or any market. It doesn't exist in this country or even internationally.
If you have an idea, first get a lawyer, which could cost up to $10,000. Next, a patent search will show if your idea is taken. Then protect your idea with a patent from the government for just $105 at uspto.gov.
From a medical perspective, I think we've really just overlooked the obvious.
Now Lisa's idea is registered with the FDA and the American Cancer Society, from survivor to achiever.
I never wanted breast cancer to define me, and it hasn't. It's only refined me.
That's an achievement in itself.
As the video said, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2009. And the following morning, my physician came in, and of course he wanted to see his work and wanted me to get up and walk. And I quickly realized I had 4 of these post-surgical drains sutured into my chest that came down to my knees. And I immediately said, Dr. Diaz, what am I supposed to do with these drains, and when can I shower? And he said, oh, you can't shower until those drains are removed. And I said, well, how long will that be? And he said, anywhere between 2 and 3 weeks. And I said, why? And he said, well, essentially what comes out of the tap water is not sterile. There's bacteria, pathogens in that water, and it will exponentially increase your chances of a surgical site infection. And of course, my first thought was, oh, geez, I've got blood on my chest, I've just had my breast amputated, and my hair is greasy, like women think, and I can't even shower. So I thought, that's okay, I'll go home and find a water-resistant product to protect me. Surprisingly, nothing existed in the U.S. market or even internationally. I then began to reach out to friends, family members who had also gone through mastectomy surgery, and they said the same thing. They said, Lisa, nothing exists. Get in the shower with a trash bag. It doesn't work, but it'll make you feel better, and it's the best we have. So essentially, that's what I did. I got in the shower with a trash bag. And as I'm fighting the trash bag, and of course water's going down my chest, I kept thinking, women have been going through mastectomies in the U.S. alone for 75 years. Why isn't there a product to protect me? I then reached out. I was part of that less than 5% that reached out to the physicians, and I said, this is crazy. More than 300,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer each year in this country. They've got to be dealing with the same problems I am. And they said they are, and it's not just you, Lisa. It's not just breast cancer patients. We have the end-stage renal disease patients, rotator cuff, ostomy. So there was a huge patient population that needed a water-resistant garment. So basically, after 3 weeks, in and out of the shower with a trash bag, I reached out to my brother and said, will you help me design something? Now, my brother, I call him an architect. He says he's an engineer, but he builds buildings. So I figured he could help me build a shower shirt product. So within 4 weeks of my mastectomy surgery, I had just got my drains pulled out, we created the shower shirt schematic product, or visual. Within 8 weeks of my mastectomy, my aunt and my cousin had helped me create the first prototype. So it was definitely a family affair. And over the next year, we went through 5 different prototypes to develop the product. Unfortunately, I had a lot of problems. I ended up with 2 hospital-acquired infections, 4 months of hyperbaric treatments, and 7 surgeries. And so, needless to say, I was up working on the shower shirt and then in bed during the whole treatment process. But every time my doctor would say, now, Lisa, you're going to have surgery again, you're going to have drains, and you can't shower, you have to keep them dry, I would think, oh, that's okay, I've got another prototype coming from my manufacturer. So I was truly the perfect patient to test my product and continue to change and evolve it accordingly. So let's talk a little bit about the shower shirt features. Again, it looks like a simple shirt. Yes, it is to a certain extent. It's antimicrobial dipped, water resistant, of course. As I'd mentioned, I showed you these drains, or mastectomy patients that have anywhere between 4 and 6 drains. So the product not only protects the surgical drain sites, it also supports the weight of those very heavy post-surgical drains. Again, it was designed specifically for mastectomy patients, but with the help of the physicians and the evolution of the products, many different patient populations use it, and I'll go into that in just a second. Again, short sleeve, it's made of heavy parachute material, and we initially rolled out small, medium, 4 to 12, large, extra large, and then last year we rolled out another plus size, so we're excited about that. Let's get back to the basics. Why is a shower shirt important? As I said, physicians routinely instruct patients to keep the drain sites dry because of tap water contains bacteria. But what's the real answer to this question? Why is it important? Patients are going to shower. Women are going to shower. And this product helps them be compliant to follow physicians' clinical protocol. What's the fundamental purpose? Again, to reduce the risk of surgical site infections while permitting patients to shower. To keep them from showering in plastic trash bags, a product not designed to protect a mastectomy patient. What's the real answer to this question? Women are going to shower. Patients are going to shower. They're going to be non-compliant. So this product helps them with the compliancy by following clinical protocol and helps reduce the chances of infection. The last, why is it necessary? This was a huge part of this project for me. Of course, I was thoroughly annoyed. There are products out there that we don't need on a daily basis, and this was a product that was just a huge need. And for me, it greatly reduced my stress, knowing that I was trying to create a product to help future breast cancer patients. And I've said many times, if you feel better physically, you're going to feel better psychologically and emotionally. And that's a grave need after a breast cancer diagnosis and amputation of the breast. So let's get back to some of the basics. And again, I know we're on a bit of a time frame here. Now, this is the U.S. There's more than 300,000 women diagnosed with breast cancer in the U.S., with about 56% of that population having mastectomy surgery and reconstruction. Now, coincidentally, it's a little higher in Europe. It's about 75% of patients have mastectomy surgery, but less with the reconstruction. So these infections are obviously expensive, not only life-threatening, but expensive. So let's talk a little bit about that. This is a study based on the AHA, American Hospital Association. Between 5 and 29% of all breast cancer surgery patients get infections, and 96% of them are readmitted to the hospital. A quick note on cost. Uninfected patients were about 6,000, infected were 16, and that's just based on the hospital costs. So we talked a little bit about patient applications, as I'd said earlier. We also sell to patients with dialysis catheters that are in dialysis treatment, end-stage renal disease. 100% of all end-stage renal disease patients get infections at one point in time during treatment. Obviously, we sell to, again, there's different aspects of breast cancer patients in terms of SAVI catheters and ports and so on. Wound vacs, infusion pumps, central lines, lung surgery, rotator cuff for orthopedics patients because they can't get their shoulders wet, ostomy, tummy tuck, and external defibrillator, which is the LifeVest. So essentially, in a nutshell, patients can get infections for multiple reasons. But this product was designed to help decrease the chances of waterborne infections from tap water. So it's one small way of trying to decrease that percent of infections while letting patients shower. So where are we after 4 years with the Shower Shirt Company? We talked a little bit about the FDA and Class 1 medical device. We are a patented product. We are registered with the FDA. It is considered a Class 1 medical device. We're in about 70 mastectomy boutiques across the U.S. We have shipped to patients in Australia, New Zealand, Austria, Spain, Israel, Japan. We've not shipped to Portugal yet. So if anyone you know is going through this unfortunate situation, might need it, let us know. We're in Walmart.com, Amazon, several hospital-based HMEs and DMEs. We recently got a great accolade along with this one. We were an SBA winner of Innovate Her. It's anyone that creates products to empower women. And we're also in Curediva. They have e-commerce sites in Israel, Germany, and Miami. Just a quick run through. One thing that's, I think, very important, and we touched on it last night, with the miracle of the internet and media, this group, the university, they would never have found me. And so it's amazing how we connect. We can connect like this on a platform. So we've gotten great media relations. This was on the Lifetime, The Balancing Act. It was a Fox piece in Orlando. Now this was recent. We got a hit in Forbes magazine. I keep telling my husband I have got to be the poorest person ever to hit Forbes magazine, but we were really excited to get that article with the medical director. And this was a Washington, D.C. piece. In closing, I just want to say, as it said in the video, I never wanted breast cancer to define my life. I only wanted it to refine it. And my hope in creating this shower shirt to help those thousands of future, not only breast cancer patients, as well as surgery patients, is a small step towards that refinement. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. Congratulations again. And now Professor Baldwin will give you.
Lisa,
And I think
it is a great and inspiring story, and it's my honor on behalf of the Open and User Innovation Society to present you with this certificate and this paperweight, and with our great thanks, because an innovation shared as you have shared yours and your story helps the whole world. And we are very grateful and admiring of your creativity and your verve. Thank you very much. And you, and your refinement.
Sorry. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you both.